One of the things you often hear in regard to promoting comics on the internet is to put yourself out there, to make yourself known within the community, even if it isn't necessarily to promote your book. Make yourself known and ingratiate yourself to others, so that when the time comes to launch your book, the friends you've made along the way will immediately become members of your team, willing to do anything they can to nurture your success. And if you need a good example of this in practice, you need look no further than Rich Ayala and his book Roach Balls. And I say that because there is approximately a 0% chance I would have backed this project and would be holding this book if I didn't know Rich from seeing him on streams. Not many people are naturally funny in the way that Rich is. He has the innate ability to just pop up on a stream and effortlessly spit out something that's ridiculous and stupid and makes everyone laugh. And because he is that kind of funny, along with his artistic talents which are continually on display, I knew going in that both the writing and art would be sufficiently covered within these pages, making this a slam dunk purchase for me. Roach Balls is disgusting, repulsive, utterly putrid in every way imaginable, including several hypothetical kinds that had previously only been theorized in laboratories. In other words, it's awesome. It's one of those books that you can just sit down and let your eyes dance across the pages, looking for more and more of those grimy details. There are times when it feels like the book isn't even interested in leading the reader's eye in any sort of direction, like it's saying, what's here is what I put here, you figure it out. And while there are moments when this drifts into nonsense, it's not a lingering issue. Roach Balls is reminiscent of another era, specifically the 90s, before cartoons for mature audiences hit the mainstream and shows like MTV's Liquid Television were trying to lure older viewers with juvenile vulgarity and off-color one-liners. In this regard, I would liken it to The Head, but in terms of the story, it actually reminded me of Aeon Flux in ways that I can't describe without spoiling the ending. All I'll say is that the book has both a satisfying and fitting conclusion, while also neatly setting things up for future adventures on Cat Shit Island. Speaking of the setting, this was probably the only real issue I had with the book, as it seemed to proverbially want to stand in two different litter boxes at the same time. The book opens with a lengthy introduction to the environment, and honestly, one of the best damn character introductions I've seen in a while. But then you have moments that drag the reader, kicking and screaming back into reality. References to things like masking, characters referring to being woke, they spoil the escapism, and I wish the book would just leave them all behind in favor of punching at full throttle into this disgusting world it's trying to immerse us in. One of the problems I often find in many indie comic books is that they are often structured in a way that things just happen, one after another and with little to no connection to one another beyond the surface, until the last thing happens and the book is over. This is one area that Roach Balls excels in, as moments tie into one another. There are setups and payoffs that layer and leapfrog into and over one another, revealing a more complex style of writing than you would expect from a book that takes place on Cat Shit Island. What I'm saying is that everything about this project delivered on the promises outlined in the viral trailer. It was a stupid story featuring a stupid protagonist who does stupid shit that makes you laugh in that stupid way, like you did when your friend made fart noises in the pit of his arm at lunch. And since Neff says he loves the rating system, I'm giving Roach Balls an 8 out of 10.